Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, y'all, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at Tesla, and I say it so often, y'all. Tesla does what Tesla does, right? We closed at 338.53. We've had a pre-market high thus far of 347.45, right? So Tesla does what Tesla does, right? So as of now, it seems to be finding support at this 344.29 area. Let's look, continuing to the upside. Resistance around the 345.59. Should we break this area here that's been holding us, preventing us from moving higher thus far, we could possibly have trouble again. 346.23. Y'all see there's a few layers of resistance. 346.84, 347.27, 347.78, breaking that level, possibly 348.75, 349.37, 349.84. Should we break that level? 350.67. Let me make sure. Yes. 350.61. Should we break that level? Possibly 351.25, and again 351.88. Those are possible areas of rejection for Tesla today. Now back to the downside. Should we break under this level here around 343.25, we could possibly come back to 342.15. Breaking that 342.15, we see that is where our 20 EMA is as of now. Breaking that brings us back to our ATR trail and stop. Y'all know in my opinion that's going to be a strong area of support around the 341.50, 341.48, breaking that level, 341.18. And should we break that, 345.85, breaking that level, 340.42. And should we break that, we could use that 50 EMA for those that use moving averages, 339.98 as of now. Should we break that level, 339.59, not very far away. However, breaking that 338.93 brings us back to this area here. Should we break that level, the next level, 338.36, and breaking that level, the 200 EMA as of now, 337.91, breaking that level, 337.33. And should we break that, it is possible, 336.16. Tesla is an inside day candle. We have already reached that target to the upside. The trigger was 338.93 with the upside target here of 343.34. As you can see, we've made a pre-market high of 347. So that means Tesla is going to gap to the upside, which creates a gap to the downside that would need to be filled. Not saying that that is going to happen today. I said so often, y'all. Tesla does what Tesla does, right? So we are now looking at AMD. We closed at 161.79. And as you can see, y'all, we were trading in this gathering spot. I like to see that we broke out of that to the downside, only to come back to around this 157.74 to have support, right? So as of now, resistance is possibly around that 158.95. Should we break that, 159.18, breaking that 159.52. And should we break that level, 159.87, 160.07, 160.24, 160.39, not far away, 160.58, 160.75, and breaking that 161.02, which brings us back to this level here. Should we break that, we could possibly have trouble again around the 161.34, 161.61, and again here at 161.97. However, breaking that level means we've broken through a few layers of resistance. We could possibly, y'all see there's a few layers of trouble here, right? The 200 EMA, the ATR trail and stop, and a level that we have marked at the 162.32. So we could possibly have trouble there. So if you're trading AMD to the upside, those are possible areas of resistance. Now back to the downside. If we should break under this level of 157.60, we could possibly have trouble again. 157.31, 157, 156.75, 156.18, 155. 155.82, 155.54, 155.10. Those are possible areas of support. Breaking that 155.10 area, we could possibly come back to 154.84, 154.54, and breaking that level for AMD today, 154.02. So if AMD is something that you trade, y'all know I said often, mark your levels. Once it goes against your Y or whatever reason you got in the trade, make sure you have a plan and get out, right? Live to trade another day. So we are looking at Meta. We closed at 748.65. And it seems as if we're finding support here right at that ATR trail and stop today on this 30-minute chart. 748.99 is our support right there where our 50 EMA and a level that we have here. So that could be a strong area of support for Meta today. Resistance as of now around those 751.89. Should we break that 752.57 and again 753.41, 754.23, 754.86. Those are possible areas of resistance. Now from there up to the next level that I have marked at the 761.16, which is kind of like in this area here, we could very well get stopped out in this area. So if Meta is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully. However, breaking this 761.16 or 761.69 is what I have marked. The 762.84 could be a rejection area for us. Now back to the downside. Let's say we break under the 748.25, 748.57. We could possibly come back and find support at 746.30. Again at 745.55, 744.72, breaking that 744.12. And should we break that level, 743.15. Again at 742.29 and breaking that 740.07. Now breaking that 740.07, which brings us kind of like under this level, 739.41. We could very well come back to around the 737.40. So if Meta again is something that you trade, I said often, y'all trade carefully. We are looking at not Netflix today. We're looking at NVDA. So we closed at 171.66 and it too have come down and found support around this 168.95. I had the level of 169.07, so we came down under that slightly, right? So where the trouble places as of now, support is around the 169 or resistance around the 169.55, and we could possibly have trouble again 169.88 again here at 170.05, 170.43. We could also use those moving averages and see, possibly have trouble 170.52, 170.79 as of now, breaking that level 170.92. And should we break that, y'all see the ATR trail and stop is forming here at 171.14. In my opinion, that is a strong area of resistance. However, there's a few layers of resistance right after that. So breaking that 171.14, we could still have trouble 171.29 up to the 171.45 area for NVIDIA. So if NVIDIA is something that you trade, possibly watching this area here that will break us out of this zone here. So breaking that 171.74, 171.96, 172.16, and possibly 172.16 is kind of like where that 200 EMA and a level that we have marked. So this could be another strong area of resistance for NVIDIA today, breaking that 172.35 and again 172.57. Those are possible areas of resistance. Now to the downside under this 168.95, possibly 168.63, 168.23, 167.89, and breaking that 167.89 for NVIDIA today. We could possibly find support 167.37. And here at 166.52, keep in mind, we could very well get stopped out anywhere in between that. So if NVIDIA is something that you trade today, I say often, y'all trade carefully under the 166.52, 165.97, and again here at 165.16. So again, mark your levels. Once it goes against your Y, your reason for getting in the trade, get out, live to trade another day, right? So again, y'all, I look at support and resistance on a much smaller scale. scale. Why? Because when I'm in the trade, I kind of want to know where my possible trouble places are. So we are looking at the SPY. We closed at 649.12, and as you can see, this 651.30, which is a new high, right? 651.30 area is a rejection area. We've hit this area a few times. So are we going to break through that, or is that going to be our, our resistance to take us back to the downside? So resistance as of now, 651.30. Support, we can say, is here, 649.48, right at a level we have marked, and that ATR trailing stop. I like to see that, right? So breaking that level of support, 649.01, and again here at 648.53, and y'all see something stopped us at this area. So breaking that brings us back to 647.91, 647.48, 647.13, breaking that 646.75, 646.49, 646.21, and 645.82, which brings us back to this level here. So if you're trading the SPY today, those are possible areas of support. Y'all, I say it so often, in this market, anything is possible. Make sure you have a plan before going into the trade, and mark your levels, and once it goes against your reason for getting in, I call that your why, get out, right? So again, this is what I see when I look at the market. Y'all, there's so many different ways to trade the market, and I say it often, what's challenging is trying to figure out the strategy that works best for you and having the discipline to execute your plan. So I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day. And I said often, y'all, so I'm looking at Netflix and I'm like, okay, I'm going to mark these levels here because Netflix reminds me of Tesla. This will be the gathering spot here. Support somewhere around the 1254.93, resistance 1259.01. So that is Netflix. If you're trading Netflix, under that, we could possibly come back to the 1251.71. And under that, we could possibly, let's say, come back to the 1243.78. Just looking at Netflix just that quick, right? So again, y'all, I hope that everyone have a very profitable day. If you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all, because we learn and we grow together. With that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.